Welcome back, everyone. This is Akinar here with more blueprints. I'm looking at this main menu here, and I'm realizing there's a paper crown on this desk. A paper crown, which we know now exists. Let's get day 29 started here. A paper crown that does exist within a closed exhibit, and apparently is an item that we can get our hands on. It shows up in the estate inventory when we check the security terminals. So my only idea at the moment is to go Kool-Aid Man on the brick wall behind it, because otherwise it doesn't seem like we can get behind what would, in real life be a very easy, even for a 14-year-old, a very easy hop, skip, and a jump over the railing there to get our hands on a paper crown. But in the Blueprints universe, we got to do a little bit more surmounting to be done. What else did we do? Just a quick... Oh, we got Blessing of the Gardener, although we've had that... No, we did do that last time, didn't we? Because that was when we had Chapel, Cloister, and Shrine all in the same day. And therefore, we got Saint Holly, our very holy holy estate here. And the buff that we got from the Shrine was we have a lot of courtyards that have been added to our pool. So we'll see how that goes. We are trying to still get our hands on a master bedroom, but hopefully that won't be too crowded out by courtyards. We shall see. But yeah, the closed exhibit. We also did a lot of reading with the library, checking out a new clue, which had just an insane amount of information that I have yet to really sift through. That I think I'm probably going to have another little note-taking review special video that we'll do at some point, because there's a lot in that book, and it's probably one we're going to have to check out again in the library, I think, in the future. But let's get our draft started. Let's see what we've got here in the outer room. There it is. I was hoping to get a schoolhouse. We've got 4 gems to start the day, thanks to the morning room, so I think that's a perfect way for us to get a schoolhouse draft started. And hopefully, now that we actually have the classroom that's been added from the drafting studio, who knows? We've got a shot to maybe get all 9 classrooms into the house today. So let's take the schoolhouse. I don't see a reason to go in the schoolhouse, because we've checked in there a couple times, and there doesn't seem to be anything more to find. I don't know if there would be anything that might change with the schoolhouse if we got our hands on all 9 classrooms. That might be a thought, depending how the draft goes. But why don't we start as we have been doing here? I think I like keeping the pattern going of starting the middle door in the entrance hall and see where we go from there. Okay, kind of what I was expecting was the library is just so common on a schoolhouse day. So I think we just take the library right off the bat so we can put in that request form. We need to request a book, which we're probably, well, hopefully, going to be able to read when we get a reading nook. So I think we take the library to start things off. The den would be a solid choice as well. Just more gems, more better, and more doors, more better. More opportunities to draft classrooms. But the other nice thing about the library is it synergizes with the classroom. So this would be our second drafting room. Hopefully I've learned my lesson now. These are not drawing rooms. There is a drawing room, though, by the way, that I actually want to get back to. That's another stretch goal here that I think I've got a clue about. Speaking of new clues, let's take the library. And we will hopefully... I'm not going to step in just yet, am I? No, I'm not going to, because... I don't know. Am I going to? I don't know. I don't know. Let's draft to the left. Let's just draft to the left, since that's the way the library is not pointing. And maybe I'll put my den over here. Or a workshop. Oh, God. Okay. I wonder if today is not a day that we focus on trying to do inventions. Like we've been making so much with the workshop recently, now that it's been common. I think maybe we do commit to the game plan of just saying, hey, let's just take every single classroom. Assuming it's not in a terrible position, let's take it when we've got the shot. Because then, once you've got that ball rolling, now you can actually take advantage of the effect. While drafting, you may draw new floor plans for each drafting room in your house. So now we're going to have 3 already that we've added to the house. I think the schoolhouse counts as 1. So this would already give us 3 rerolls here to really get a nice... I mean, we'll have a chance to get a workshop later if we really want it. But I think I want to start with a classroom. We will need to be prioritizing gems. There's an apple on the desk there. Is there always an apple in the school or in the classroom? Or at least the first grade classroom? We have never been to second grade, have we? So we don't even know what that looks like. I think I'm just going to draft to the other side of the entrance hall. This would be I would be okay now with a workshop because that would point us away from the library's door that we're going to be drafting out of. But we could also just take a courtyard because there's so many of those in the pool, and those give us gems. And this also gives us a door to the east wing. There could also be some items in the courtyard, a metal detector. So let's take the courtyard. That's fine. And I don't see any items, but I think I will go in and collect our gems. So, all right. So no shovel or metal detector. I think we go ahead and we draft the door to the east wing. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what the east wing offers us here. See if we get... Well, no conservatory. This is awkward. I don't want to take a reading nook here. We're going to need some keys at some point. But having... It's going to be... If we take a reading nook and then take the library, then both libraries point to the exact same room. That's not ideal. So I think we just take a classroom here. And that's actually second grade that we have finally graduated to. Is that for real? I think that's what we take. The only question is where we're going to draft from there. Let's take the classroom, but we're not going to explore it just yet because it does actually look pretty different. Oh, I see mathematics up there. Okay. All right, there's some learning to do in grade 2, which is exciting. But the first thing I want to do is draft through the library. Oh my god, there's a magnifying glass here. Okay. God damn it, the special order that's going to go to waste again. All right, a magnifying glass is going to show up in the library. Have we had that happen before? I think the only book that we have not read yet is The Curse of the Black Bridge. We still have not yet bought Realm and Rune. We haven't seen the bookshop in a while. So that may change here in just a moment. Maybe we'll get the bookshop offered out of the library. But as of now, we don't have that final book. I would definitely take Realm and Rune if that were the book here that were on the list. We'll quickly check our records just to see, as always, if there's anything that has changed. I mean, of course, things have changed. The only question is how interesting those changes are. We're up to 13 upgrade discs now, and 5 red letters. Hopefully we can add one if we get our hands on a drawing room. Aha, the conservatory. Had the conservatory already jumped up to our favorite floor plan? Maybe that was already there last time. I don't remember. But now we do have the electromagnet that's been added to the list here. So it looks like we've got 2 more contraptions to fill in. One of them we know what it is, right? We know what the we know we've got the jackhammer to make eventually. But there's also one involving the coin purse that we have yet to figure out what the coin purse combines with. So we got some work there still to do, but for now, I think we will draft. Yes, we will draft from the library, because what if we get an attic? I want to be able to take an attic while we actually have 3 gems. Ask, and ye shall receive. There it is. Okay. The observatory would probably be pretty dope as well. I wonder if the observatory is now just better than an attic. I wonder. But I don't think the observatory has a chance to get us a battery. So I don't know if that can show up in the attic, but if there were a place between the 2 of these that would have a battery or any chance of it, I would put my bet on the attic. Now, of course, all that talk about batteries, I just have that on the brain still from the other day where we were very close to making a jackhammer, and then we just randomly got a battery in the mechanarium. So, but we might not be. We've already passed a workshop. We might not be in the frame of mind today to really try to put together new contraptions. So, in any case, though, there's a shovel. The attic, though, is just a good... It's 8 items, for crying out loud. You just... Wait a second. Oh. Well, there's a battery, folks. In the red wagon, no less. Question answered. The battery pack can show up in the attic. Well, what is this game sometimes? I'm not getting gems, though. This is kind of insane, the amount of not gems that are showing up here. Did we really only get one gem in the attic? What about that always paying for itself business? We get a treasure map, and so I guess we're going to try to get to... And we have a shovel. We actually have a shovel this time for our treasure map. There's also a secret garden key. All right. Interesting. I'm really surprised, though, that we did not get any... Only the one gem? Okay, well... now my plan of drafting classrooms is a little bit on the back foot, but maybe we can... we'll do some digging for additional resources. What we're going to do, though, is continue... We have to at least explore the classroom, right? The new one. So that's where we're going to go first, I think. We also need to dig up the stuff in the courtyard. The one dig site? Just the one? There is two. Pretty rare for there only to be one dig site in the courtyard. Okay, cool. So we have a shovel. And we have a battery pack. This game just has the best sense of humor. Hey, look at this, folks. We have graduated to grade number 2. Look at this. We've made it. We are officially here. Okay. So now there is, I see immediately there is a new, there is a mathematics worksheet, which we have seen a fragment of this in the locker room. This student did not do so well. Rob has flunked out of math in 2nd grade. He's got a long way to go, apparently. But I think what they're doing here is they're trying to teach us. I will take the apple in this case. We're not going to wait for an observatory. To potentially give us a farmer's apple. That might happen. But we've got the math worksheet, the full math worksheet that we can see. Although we've been doing a lot of parlor games. Parlor games? Break room games / billiard room games, and we're pretty familiar with how these all work out, but I suppose if you really didn't have a good handle on that, then you would have some math worksheets from the students here to show you the way. And I think similar to the coloring contest, these we're going to be able to cross-reference. Some of these students, I don't know that any of these, Penelope is the best so far with a B+, but I'm guessing that nobody's going to have a straight A. Yeah, nobody has every single question right. So I think similar to the coloring contest, you have to cross-reference. I haven't done this yet, but I think if you look at if you cross-compare the students' worksheets, I'm taking screenshots of all these, then you can figure out exactly what the answers are, I suspect. I don't think we're under pressure to do that with the math game, though. At least not at the moment. I don't see how that helps us. There's some interesting... the interesting border on this mathematics poster. The numbers that are going around the edge here. I don't think there is any sort of a special sequence. They look to just be repeating numbers over and over. At first... I was wondering, what if there's a clue? But we can't examine it with the magnifying glass, and usually the clues are not... Usually the stuff that they want you to actually focus on is stuff that you can pick up and examine with the magnifying glass. Not always, I suppose, but I think that's more generally the rule than not. Let's draft. We only have the one gem, which is a bit risky here, but maybe we would look for a den. We're gonna have we're gonna have several rerolls. We're going to have several rerolls. They're giving us a coat check. There's also a commissary, so we could get gems from the commissary. The commissary might be the correct pick here. We have 4 redraws if we want to use them. If we also just want to open up the most doors as possible, then the chapel would be the pick. But I think if I was going to... I would not settle for the chapel here. I would either take the coat check or the commissary, or I'd redraw. Between the coat check and commissary, which one would I want? They both serve as a dead end. I do want to get a lucky rabbit's foot, but I'm much more... I don't know. Like, we do need gems, gems, gems. And the commissary, it's just that the commissary doesn't have we've already picked up a magnifying glass, so it's slightly less valuable. But it still probably gets us a lot of gems. But at the same time, we're then closing things down to where we only have the one door out of that classroom on the left. I feel like I kind of need to redraw here for a workshop or a spare bedroom or an east wing hall. Something that's not a chapel. I just don't want a chapel, but I guess I could settle for that. I don't know. We've got 4 redraws, right? This is where you redraw if you're going to do it. If you're going to go for a room that takes you into rank 3, you would redraw here. I'm going to do that. I don't want to close off my draft this much just yet. Let's use the utility of the classroom to our advantage. To our advantage. This is why I'm going to be very sad in just a moment. If we have to settle for a dead end, then that's so be it. But I'm not going to settle for one of these dead ends. The dormitory is more valuable on a day like today, I guess, than normal, but this would be a terrible spot to put it. So I don't want to settle for a dormitory here, and I don't want to take a reading nook when I already got 3 keys from the attic. A reading nook that doesn't actually get me a library, so let's redraw. There's that den. Okay, I will take the den here. That's kind of what I was hoping to get at some point. So our common dens get us another gem. This den gets us another gem, and I will draft into rank 3. There's also a chest here, which I think with 3 keys I can afford to just open, because the whether I get more keys or more gems, whatever resource I get from this trunk, I think it's worth the investment here. And we get a little bit of everything. A mini storeroom. Let's go. I think I keep drafting. Draft rank 3, and I would be okay with a classroom here. None of those are a classroom. I guess I take a chapel now. This dormitory. The dormitory is more common on a schoolhouse day, isn't it? The library and the dormitory are very much on theme with a schoolhouse, so I guess it makes sense that both of those would get a bump up in their commonality. But I just don't want to take a dead end here. I guess I'm taking the chapel, and I'm going to be making a few deposits here into our piggy bank, which I'm just going to assume it's at least the number of days that we've taken at least one step in the chapel on average each day, right? I know that's not literally true, but that's my guesstimate right now. So I'm guesstimating that there's probably at least 30 coins in this piggy bank, probably closer to 40. So if we ever do need to break it open for any reason, then we're in that ballpark. I think we draft, though, to the other door here in rank 3. Okay, do we take the dead-end observatory here because observatories are just OP now that we're over 30 stars? There's probably just too many resources in an observatory to pass up. It's almost like an attic at this point. But at the same time, we do have a shovel, and the courtyard is a guaranteed gem, no matter what. And of course, we would continue drafting in this direction. But now that we have the door from the chapel that goes into rank 4, I would be okay taking an observatory and then turning around and drafting from the other classroom and start using all my redraws there. And I just feel like at this stage, there's such a good chance that the observatory gets us Diamondus Major. Gems, gems, gems. So I'm going to take the shot here at the observatory. We get the permanent progress. No matter what, we are at 32 stars. Always check the desks here for any random key that might show up, but the real business is through the telescope. Oh, shit. I am actually not getting... What the hell? This is a weird one. I think I'm getting Draxus the Dead, but I'm also getting the Southern Cross, but I'm also getting the Sail. Is that true? I think we're definitely getting the Sail, and there's no reason not to take that. But then we have the Southern Cross, and I think we have Draxus the Dead as well. Do I want both of those? That's a weird one, because both four-way rooms and dead ends being more common. I think I at least want Draxus the Dead, because there's a lot of rooms like the freezer and, well, the master bedroom. But the master bedroom's already common. But the study, like, there's a lot of dead ends that we still want to, like, we've opened the chest in the study, but we want to be able to do the chess game outside. I think I'm taking the Draxus the Dead. But I don't know about the sail, or I'm sorry, the Southern Cross, because it feels like that sort of conflicts with that. I think I'm actually passing on the Southern Cross here. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I'm going to hold off on that. If nothing else, we just did the Southern Cross, and I kind of don't want to do it again. That might be weird. It might be an over-optimization, but I think that's the way that I'm going to play it. So, so then do I want to draft through the chapel and then head back to that first classroom? I think so. I think so. Let's just draft through the chapel, because then if this ends up being a master bedroom and I have to take a master bedroom here, then we know what we're, you know, we know that we really need to prioritize a lot of doors from the classroom, and then maybe I would take the Southern Cross, right? If we get a master bedroom here, I'm slam dunking it because I'm not passing on that shit again. But also that means we're down to just very few options, and now maybe I need the Southern Cross to make sure our draft keeps going. So let's draft this door. Okay, so they do give us, we get a laundry room here thanks to Draxus the Dead. Is that good? That's actually pretty good, isn't it? Because we could just straight up swap all our coins for gems. We want gems on a day like today, for sure. But do I want them that badly where I would just pass up a den and just give myself 2 more doors? The laundry room would not be connected to a power source, so we wouldn't ever be able to swap steps for gems when we're getting low on steps. But if we end up getting a dormitory somewhere, then hopefully we're never low on steps at any point. That's our steps resource today, maybe. I wouldn't want to put it in this spot again. Terrible spot for the dormitory. I think we'll be able to get gems other ways. I don't want to just dead end myself here on the east wing, even though a laundry room is extremely powerful. Let's go ahead and take the den, and then I will grab the gem and also check for a chest. No chest here. I'm not, though, going to draft out of the den yet. We're going to head back, pay the tithe once again, and now we're going to head back and draft the other classroom. Also, I will check one more time for any other details in grade 2 that I might have missed. But I think so far, the main pattern that I'm seeing are these worksheets that have... I'm not sure what the information that's useful about first grade yet is, or I'm not sure what the first grade classroom is trying to tell us most. My guess is that it has to do with these flags, the sigils, or the cores of the sigils that are on these flags, and that we need to get the right color. Just my guess, though. Just my guess. Okay, classroom time. And classroom time. I'm not taking a Chamber of Mirrors. That is it's tempting, because we know how many resources there can be in a Chamber of Mirrors. But given where it's at in the house, it's not the place that I want to put it. It's interesting that we're getting a Chamber of Mirrors here. We could just be very fortunate. But the fact that it's showing up here next to a freezer on a Draxus the Dead day does make me wonder, is the Chamber of Mirrors actually just treated as a dead end? I thought it was treated as a 4-way room, because it does have 4 doors on it, but they're not open right away, so it does kind of start as a dead end. So I don't know exactly how the game's... I guess I could look in the room directory, couldn't I? Maybe we'll do that after this. That'll probably answer my question. I think the pick is the classroom. But notably, the Chamber of Mirrors is a drafting room. And how does that work with classrooms? Don't tell me, of course. But, like, could we draft 18 classrooms? Could we get all the way through not just our bachelor's degree, but into our master's? Working through 18 classrooms because we drafted the Chamber of Mirrors? It is certainly tempting to do it, but I think I'm taking the classroom here, and then we'll aim to get a 3-door room out of the classroom that lets us draft through the fill out the rest of our base. This gets us to grade 3. I'm fine with that, and check it out. We will. There is another worksheet here. This one is a science worksheet. Science worksheet. Directions. Use the elements below to form the answers to each question below. So it's taking similar to the laboratory puzzle that allowed us to eventually figure out how to power up the grotto. Is that the only purpose? Another apple, of course. Is that the only purpose here of the we've got the periodic table right on the board. Like, it could be that the purpose of each of these classrooms is just to kind of provide another avenue toward cluing you in to some other puzzle somewhere else in the house. What is this here, though? The note says, disrespectful, see me after class. H2O in liquid state is called water. H2O in solid state is called ice. H2O in gaseous state is called Mrs. Peterson. Oh, Quinn. Quinn, you little... you little devil. Yeah, I can see why Mrs. Peterson would not be too happy about that one. Although it's pretty funny. Let's see here. Jacob only got one of these correct. He said H2O in a liquid state is called teardrop. What? Didn't even spell tear right. You got the solid state correct, but then gaseous state, water. Got some work to do there. Got some work to do there, buddy. 2 out of 3 here for Cassandra. She just mixed up her water and her ice. No, wait. No, she got the water correct. In the gaseous state, it's called gas. Huh. Did anybody get the gaseous state one right? What is it called in its gaseous state? Water in its gaseous state is... I actually don't know if I know this one. I thought of vapor, but there's no V here. What is it supposed to be? Given the letters that they're supplied with, I'm actually not sure off of the bat. I'll have to give that one a little bit of thought. Because, yeah, none of the other students got that correct. I don't know if it's important. I don't know if you need it to actually solve anything. But just for my own curiosity, it would be fun to get the answer there. And then up here we have science is fun. F, fluorine is, this is just the atomic numbers, right? 9, 92, and N. 92 for uranium, 7 for nitrogen. I'll take a screenshot of this in case those numbers are important. But I think those are just their periodic table numbers, aren't they? Fluorine, is that really 9? I guess it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. That makes sense. Nitrogen 7. And then I would presume that uranium is 92, but I'm not going to do a count to verify that. Let's keep on drafting. We have 3 classrooms now. We are off to a good start. Okay. We could take a parlor here. That would certainly be a nice little helping of gems, and it would get us to the corner. But we then would have to turn back around and draft from the den. So when we have 5 redraws, do we want to pass up on the probably almost guaranteed 3 gems, presuming there's no shenanigans in the parlor game? Is that better than guaranteeing us or taking at up to 5 redraws to get a room that points both to the left and the right? It's just, we also have this treasure map, and we know that, I think it was 5-1. I think it's the room here at rank 5 on the west wing that has the treasure. So we're just that much farther away from that if we don't, if we do take a parlor. But at the same time, the foundation, if we can get from the den to the foundation, then we're basically there. We really need the gems, and I just don't want to risk. The parlor is a common, but we've seen days where it just gets crowded out by so many other options. So I think we take, it's in a good spot here where it allows us to fill out the base. So I think I settle for the parlor. We're not really utilizing our redraws yet, but it's the nature of redraws. Like, there are so many instances where you just have something that's good enough. And, you know, I'm not, like, I have a background in poker, but I wouldn't really consider and I do like gambling, but I have to say I'm not just in gambling just to take a risk, right? The aspect of gambling that I like is understanding the odds, understanding where to extract value, not just rolling the dice. So, so I am a little bit risk averse, and so if I get an option that is sufficient, I will often settle for it. Okay, with that aside, let's play the parlor game. This box and the white box are both empty. Could be true, could be false. This box and the blue box are both empty. So those could both be true, and they could also both be false. They're either both true or both false, right? So it kind of comes down to this one. The other two statements have identical wording. That's definitely false, right? So that means that these both have to be true. They do not have identical wording, so I think they both have to be true, because otherwise, let's just think through that to be certain. This box and the blue box are both empty. This box and the white box are both empty. I don't want to overthink this, and I feel like this is just the right answer. I'm just instinctually leaping to this one, but I also, I'm having a little bit of doubt for whatever reason. Let me just walk through this to convince myself. If this statement were false, this box and the white box are both empty. It would mean that at least one of them has something. We know that they both couldn't have something. It would just mean that at least one of them has something, and it would mean this statement is false. And we know that this one has to be false, so that it would mean that this one would have to be true. But then we would have a contradiction because we said that this one was false. So because these two are both true, that means this one has to be true, and therefore this one has to be true. Otherwise, we just have a contradiction. Okay, which means that since these are both true, it means that the black box has the gems, correct? This box and the blue box, this box and the white box. The black box has to have the gems. Please let me be right here. I got myself into overthinking, but settled on the right answer. No problem. Okay, 5 gems. I feel a lot better now about being able to draft classrooms. Awesome, awesome, awesome. They still want to give me this dormitory. That is a conservatory, and guess what? The conservatory counts as a drafting room. I was thinking about taking the dice just to have some additional rerolls here, but the conservatory we just don't pass, right? It's a conservatory. It costs a gem, but it's a conservatory. We got to do it. Conservatory is the room. I don't really feel like skipping, not for quite a while. Okay. Interesting choices here. Greenhouse, secret passage, and reading nook. Okay. The greenhouse is standard, correct? It is standard. It is a standard. Do we want to make it a common? Do we want to make it a common? Admittedly, none of these are particularly exciting. I'm not really, like, thrilled to see any of these at this particular moment, just because they kind of... my instinct is that these feel like they're the right rarity already. The greenhouse, we might think about making it... I don't know, do we have to make it commonplace when we already have 8 courtyards? Making green rooms more likely? The thing is, it makes the other green rooms more likely, like the conservatory. It makes the solarium more likely. It makes the terrace and the veranda more likely. And the thing is, we only see it on the wings. So even if we make it commonplace, it's not like we're just going to see it all the damn time. I think I'm okay making the greenhouse a commonplace. This feels like a strong enough room. It usually has at least 2 gems, presuming we pick it in the right spot, on the right soil. And it has a high chance of giving you a watering can, which gets you more gems. So let's do the commonplace on that. And then we have... the secret passage is a cool room. but I don't know that I want to just make it a standard. I would definitely not make it a commonplace, just because it does cost a gem. And the effect of guaranteeing the other type of room, it's a very strong effect, right? We've made very strong usage out of being able to guarantee a very, like, there's so many cases with green rooms in particular where you can narrow down the pool to just, you know what 3 options you're getting. So it is a strong room, but I don't know if it goes to standard. I just get a little bit worried. One thing about the conservatory, it's a very powerful room, but when you meddle, when you do so many changes and you start to get like a lot of these rooms that are more rare, you start to move them down to common or standard. Does your pool start to get so crowded with these options that yes, you've made them more common, but there's so many options that are in that common pool now, you're still not going to see them as often as you'd like. I think I leave this one at unusual. I think I don't make a change to Secret Passage, and I think the same thing with the Reading Nook. This is definitely one, at least until we're kind of done with the library. Like maybe we get to a point where it's like, okay, I've read every single book in the library twice, or something like that, and then we say, now we'll move the Reading Nook up to like standard or something. But it gives you a key, and it gets you the library. Like, I don't want to make the Reading Nook anything but commonplace. So I think that's the only change. I think we're just changing the greenhouse, and that's as good as it gets. We get to do the dig site here, and pick up a coin. Okay, so now we would, the greenhouse does have a good chance of showing up to the north of the den, which would be okay. I think I would be all right picking a greenhouse there. But we have to draft from the den regardless, and I think now, because we need to make sure we get doors, I think it's probably correct for us to go and grab the Southern Cross. And maybe I should have done it before and not thought that hard about it. Not trying to, like, maybe it's just an upside to always take those buffs from the observatory, but I kind of think it's not. I kind of think there are cases where you don't want to be just automatically taking whatever you get from the observatory. But in this case, because now I do need as many doors as I can get my hands on, I will take the Southern Cross. So now things are going to be interesting with both Southern Cross and Draxus online. And now we have really made the little piggy bank extra happy today. Do I start with, I think I'm going to start with the rank 4 door, presuming it's not locked. And there is a passageway. There's a study there. But man, do I need doors. But also, a passageway spends 2 gems. Man. Man. The study, maybe we just don't pass the study, because the study does get us another gem now with the safe open. And it also gives us that queen that we've been looking for the chess game. So we now have a knight in the observatory. We have a rook in the conservatory. We have a pawn in the den. We have a bishop in the chapel, and now we would have a queen in the study. We would just need either an office or a master bedroom. So maybe I'm just supposed to take the study because it's just that powerful of a room. I need as many gems as I can get my hands on, because I want to draft both classrooms, but I also like the idea of being able to do some redraws, especially now that we're down to our last door at the den. I think I'll take the study. This is going to be a weird one. But we've got the Southern Cross, so yeah, I might have to settle for like a weight room to make sure I get myself enough doors here. This is going to be a weird one. I might end up regretting this, but we're going to try. And we're going to see what happens. There's a chest there. Okay. We'll take our gem, and I will certainly spend the key here to open up the trunk. Get myself some more resources. And we do get a key back. So that pays for itself. And yeah, nothing else to do in the study. We have just the one door, because I don't have a key card, so I can't go around to the foundation. So this is do or die here, but that's why we picked... God damn it. I mean, do we just say that this is like the shortest draft ever? And I just say, I'm going to take a master bedroom, but this also means I can probably solve the chess puzzle. And it also means I get to take a look in the master bedroom with a magnifying glass. The only problem is I don't get to continue the classroom draft. Huh. What a conundrum, folks. What a choice. What a choice that we are left with here. This master bedroom has been avoiding me like the plague. And the first time that it shows up in who knows how many drafts where I can actually pick it, afford it, that is, it ends my draft if I take it. Is that still an okay? Am I still okay with that? I'm never super okay with this kind of a choice, or settling on the master bedroom is not amazing in my mind, because I always love getting maximum value out of a draft. There's still so much to be done potentially today. Oh God, I hate that they're making me make this choice, but I can't do it to myself. I know I've been begging and screaming for the master bedroom, but I just can't stop the draft here. We've got classrooms to draft. I've got a treasure to dig up. We've got things that we still want to do. And now experiments to trigger. I think I'm just going to take the laboratory, and I'm not going to go for the redraw here. I'm hoping that we can get our hands on a master bedroom still, especially on a day when Draxus the Dead is in effect. You gotta think that we're gonna get another shot at it. Let's hope. Let's hope I don't regret this. But I want to keep the draft going, guys. I just love playing this game, and I don't want it to stop. I don't want our draft to be over here. So, experiment setup. Let's see what we get offered here. Oh, no. I almost fell for it again, guys. While drafting, if you draw a drawing room floor plan, I don't think we're going for that one. Whenever you draft an archived floor plan, maybe for each bedroom you draft after your second. Oh, none of these are actually very good. Now, at the same time, we did make the drawing room a standard, didn't we? Let's just double check this real quick. But I think we did change it back. No, we made it back to common. Let's check the room directory. There was something I was going to check in the room directory when I was in the someplace. I forget what I was going to check in the... God damn it. I've already forgotten the thing earlier this draft. I'm trying to remember now what it was, and I'm getting distracted. Thinking about that when really I should be looking for the rarity on the drawing room. It is back to a commonplace. So, with as many rerolls as we're theoretically going to be getting, this one might be, out of these options, it might be the best one. Because we haven't drafted any bedrooms yet. And we just skipped our first chance at one. And, oh, I guess the dormitory we've been offered a few times. We have been offered the dormitory. Shit. I guess we're just going to go with this one. But I haven't even looked at the effects yet. Let's see, gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in your house, gain 3 gold for each red room in your house, or permanently add 1 gold to your allowance. I mean, we just want to be drafting classrooms. So I'm not necessarily steering into a hallway draft or a red room draft. I don't think we have either of those really in our draft at all. I guess we have a chapel. We have 8 courtyards, right? We have 8 courtyards. Dead ends are more common. I guess 4 ways are more common now. So an archive, that is true. An archives, that's how we got our hands on an archives the other day, because we had the Southern Cross, and that's why we went with the archived floor plans. Is that one going to be more likely to actually get us triggers on our experiments than taking the drawing room one? We have done this a couple times, and it just doesn't happen that much. With so many courtyards and other things in the pool that are going to be more common, we're probably not going to see a drawing room, even with all the redraws that we're getting from classrooms. But at the same time, I hate these other two. I don't know that any of these are going to happen today. I don't necessarily think that any of these are happening. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take the drawing room and permanently add 1 gold to our allowance. But I don't think that this is going to proc at all. But if it does, it'll just be a nice icing on the cake. I just don't want to go... I don't want to pick an archives. We just did this the other day. I don't want to be limiting my visibility with stuff, especially when we're down to so few doors. And I don't really want to be drafting bedrooms either. So I have so many reasons why not to do this other thing. So this is not the greatest experiment ever, but at least it's going to be, you know, there's going to be some chance of us adding a little bit to our allowance. I'm not sure that I want to do a special order, though, because we've been picking up the magnifying glass in other places, and it just feels bad when your special order gets canceled out, and all of a sudden now you've got one less thing that you can buy in the commissary. At the same time, we still know that there are books to read, and eventually a master bedroom to get our hands on when it's in a spot where I can actually goddamn pick it without ending my draft. So we'll continue doing the special orders here on a magnifying glass, even if it does. It's just, I feel like we've been getting a bit lucky by picking it up in other places. It's not the common result. So we'll continue to put in that special order. Okay, special order out of the way. Let's get out of the terminal here so we can continue our draft. Hopefully, continue our draft. We've got some rerolls with the study, and I just want a room that gets me... Literally the first room that's offered is a drawing room. God damn it. The very first stinking room. It's not ideal, but I think I'm going to be able to open the safe in the drawing room. So it does, I think, get us back a gem, but the doors are not in an ideal spot. I was really hoping to get a room that points me to the foundation, but this keeps us going. This keeps the draft going. It's just pointing us in a direction that's not ideal, especially when we only have 3 keys. I kind of want to be steering back to the lower ranks before moving up into the later portions of the house. Also, if I take the drawing room here, I'm not going to be getting more procs on my allowance. Oh my god. But if I spend a gem to redraw, if I've only got 5 redraws with this study effect, so if I do it here, if I take that chance and I don't get a door that goes over to the other, that goes toward the foundation, like I don't want to spend all my gems re-rolling here when I do have at least one doorway that shouldn't be a security door. I don't think you can get security doors in the drawing room. That is one thing that maybe I should, before I leave the laboratory, maybe we should use our grotto access to turn down security doors frequency. Yeah, I will settle for the drawing room, because I think we're going to be able to open this safe. Before I leave the laboratory, though, I will turn down the security. Let's use our grotto login. I don't think we're going to be... We just picked the drawing room, so unless we get a chamber of mirrors, we're not triggering our experiments anymore today. So that means that we don't have a reason to log into the shelter. So let's just get security now. Even though security is a common, we may not get it offered. I may not want to draft it. We'll just use the terminal access here because I don't think I need to save the terminal, the grotto access for the office. Okay, low security, offline mode unlocked. And then we also will check the estate inventory very quickly. Dude, seriously, there's a broken lever somewhere? I've missed a broken lever. We actually have a battery and a shovel, and there's a broken lever somewhere. Shit. If we do get our hands on a workshop, we could make a jackhammer. Where is the broken lever? Shit. Oh, I need it's not in the drawing room, is it? Is it possible it's in the drawing room? Wow. Like, I kind of want to go back and explore the rest of the house for a broken lever. Is it possible I missed it in the courtyard? Or maybe in the attic? Crap. That kind of pisses me off. I have missed a broken lever somewhere. You just don't expect to see it. You don't expect to see it outside of, like, the workshop. Or, I don't know. if you're not looking for it, right, then who knows? It's probably very easy to miss. We're going to keep drafting forward because I just don't want to take the time to go and look for a broken lever. At least not until I have a workshop. So, and it also, I just don't have a good idea where it could be. I can't say like, oh, for sure it's going to be in the courtyard. I don't know. All right, now, the drawing room. I think maybe I have finally figured out the gag here, because if we count small gates, wide gate, small gate, large wide gate, small gate, GAIT. I think that's what we're supposed to be counting here. It just occurred to me when I was editing. I saw myself, you know, lifting the painting or the sketch here above the safe, and I realized, similar to the office and the big bust of count gates that's above the safe, I thought, oh, is it a similar thing here? Is the lady supposed to be important? And then I realized the arrow, and it's the word. I realized, oh, gate is a word. Small gates. So how many small gates are there? The lady, I believe, appears 4 times. She's once above the safe, and then once here. So that's twice. And then thrice. And then fourths. 4 times. There's 4 ladies, and I believe there are 15 instances. We'll recount here to be sure, but I think there's 15 umbrella men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I think we have ourselves a tax day situation. April 15th. Now, from what I understand, I'm actually going to try this, and we're going to clear this. From what I understand, apparently, the game is, I think, forgiving enough where you could actually switch these. I think you can switch the day and the month and put 15-4, and it would actually count it. It does. So they actually will let you get away with either the Americanized month before day or the rest of the world day before. No, I had that reversed. No, wait a second. It's month, day, year in the US. Everywhere else, it's year, month, day. So, you know, we just got to do things differently. It's how we roll. Okay, there's our gem, and red letter number 6, except it's spelled 6. What? It's spelled 6, which does remind me of the math worksheet that was in the locker room. Let's check it out here. Take our screenshots, as we always do. April 15th. Dearest Mary, writing to our mom. I know the events of the past year have catapulted you into a world you may not have been ready for. It's cruel, the way time rips through our lives, leaving them barren and fruitless like wind-scarred plains. Throughout this all, I know your principal concern has always been Simon. You didn't need to confide in me yesterday for me to realize that fact. Everyone who knows you understands this. I will take full responsibility to ensure that regardless of how your current project pans out, Simon is shielded from any fallout and, God forbid, repercussions. A child should not suffer the iniquity of their parents. It sounds like this is probably Herbert writing to our mother. I, of course, write you all this in the hope that I can set your mind at peace when imagining the worst-case scenarios, not because I think such an outcome is likely. No, Mary, I have few apprehensions and fewer fears. Assuming everything goes according to plan, you should be reunited with Simon again before his 10th birthday. Ooh, things have not gone according to plan. And while 2 years might seem like an eternity to a mother, I've always heard the days pass by more quickly in the East. In the East, as in, like, talking about Asia, that East. As for me and you, I have already come to terms that our meeting yesterday was very likely our last. I am too old and too stubborn to ever leave this place. I'm too attached to the home our family has built up. Oh, that was not a period. I am too attached to the home our family has built up, room by room. Yes, I have a strong premonition, I will be buried in red soil, under red flags. A compromise I know you yourself would never accept. It's been a joy watching you grow up and getting to know you. Your mother and I spoke of little else during your school days. I know she'd feel the same bittersweet pride I feel now to see you following in your father's footsteps and making the same sacrifices he did. Farewell, my marigold. We may yet meet again. Your Uncle Herbert. Nothing after that. Following in her father's footsteps. This is the first, as far as I'm aware, the first mention that I've heard of Simon being involved in any sort of political stance against the red flag. Herbert seems to be, you know, resigned to his fate. He does not have nearly the same, like, he might be vaguely aligned, loosely aligned in spirit with the Blackwater insurgents. He may hold little love for the Fen-Ares establishment, but he's not, it doesn't feel like he's willing to make the same level of sacrifice, take the same rigid stance that Mary and I guess Simon, her father, had also taken. And it seems like maybe we might be following in similar footsteps. Her son Simon, excuse me, at least based on the cutscene at the end, the ending, stepping into room 46, and you see Simon, kind of the veil dropping from his eyes and him realizing his indoctrination, and he may be coming of age and starting to follow in his mother's footsteps. Okay, cool. 6 red letters. That feels nice. We've got a nice helping of having access to these extra gems all over the place now is so such a nice boon to keep things going with any draft, let alone a schoolhouse draft where gems are of utmost importance. So now I'm just still bugged that there's a broken lever somewhere. There's a stinking broken lever somewhere. We only have the secret garden key, and we cannot use that here. So we use one of our regular keys, because otherwise we're going nowhere. Oh my god, they give us an archives now, huh? They give us an archives now. Gosh, dang it. I guess I have to take it because... God damn it. I did the wrong experiment. Should have taken the archived floor plan one. I want as many doors as I can get. I like the fact that this goes in all directions. I just don't love that it could have security doors. That's another problem with the archives. We did turn security low. So even though it has the 4 doorways, it still may not be an optimal choice. And it adds in this hiding a floor plan. I'm starting to wonder if either Draxus or the Southern Cross were the right choice. Because have we seen a classroom offered at all since I've done that? I guess we got the classroom offered over on the west side there next to the parlor. But otherwise, we have not been seeing classrooms. We've only been seeing a whole lot of dead ends and 4-way rooms. It's been mostly dead ends. Now, do I not have the ability to continually redraw? Did I lose my study buff? Or do I need to use the drawing room buff first before the study redraws become available? Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, if I redraw the archives here, that's my last roll, my last reroll, except I have the study. So shouldn't I have like up to 5 more rerolls after this? But I don't see the books that I normally have in the bottom right from the study. Oh, the Chamber of Mirrors. That's the room I was going to check in the room directory. Cat laser brain. I remember now, that was the room that we can check here in just a moment, if I remember. I don't want to fucking deal with the archives. I just don't want to deal with the archives again. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it. I'm going to use a redraw here. And I should have more redraws with the study if I'm really desperate. But the way the UI is set up here, it's making me have doubts. This could go very badly, but I'm going to use a redraw. Okay, it did give me the... All right. Okay. It took a second there, but it did force me to use the the drawing room redraw before using the study. So we get security after all. That's kind of a... I don't really want that. I mean, it's not that I don't really want it because it doesn't point me toward the foundation. This is the problem that I've got right now, is I really want to point toward the... I want to point to the treasure, and I want to point down to the lower ranks where I don't have to worry about keys as much. Like, there's another locksmith that we're passing, but I can't take it because it closes off my draft. So the security, obviously, that gets me the most doors out of these options, but I have to spend a gem, and we already made use... We're not getting additional use out of the security terminal because we already have access to it from the laboratory. But also, like, I don't know. I may not get what I want with a redraw here, but I think I'm going to take it. I just don't want to point... I want to point in the other direction. I don't want to have to, like, go up to rank 7 to turn back around to the foundation here. I'm going to run out of keys. I got to redraw here. I got to spend the gem. I got to do it. God damn it. Okay, we're taking a weight room. It doesn't cost us... It doesn't cost us gems. And, you know, it could have security doors. That's about the only downside. And knowing my luck, the way it's going today with the way these rolls... These draws are not really stacking up the way that I want, but we're going to need some steps pretty soon. We're going to need them, but we've done this before. We've made the sacrifice of hitting the gym, and fuck me. God damn it, I'm so pissed right now. I'm so... God fucking... Yeah. I'm actually fucking tilted, guys. Ooh. Well, like, if I draft a utility closet, I guess all is well in the world. God fucking damn it. Alright, there's a classroom. There's a classroom. There's a wine cellar, though. That's a lot of gems. I maybe need to take a wine cellar. I kind of need to take a wine cellar because that's both redraws and, like, yeah, we need to take a wine cellar here. I don't... Wine cellar versus classroom. The classroom is going to be so many redraws, right? That's at least, like, 7, maybe 8 redraws now. I think it's actually 9. But it's also a wine cellar, and a wine cellar could have a dig spot in addition to the 3 gems. That security door being in my way on the other side of the weight room, though. What are the chances? I mean, it's a pretty big chance because it's a red room. It was a good chance that there was one of the doors that was security. It just happened to be the one that was on the left. That's it. Just had to be that one. I'm taking the wine cellar because I want to be able to spend a bunch of redraws at the weight room to make sure that I get a door that goes to the left. I'm down to 2 keys. This is the problem. Like, I need to get my hands on more keys. And maybe that's a reason to take a classroom and just re-roll for, like, a locksmith. But, maybe that's the better decision. It's not a far-fetched thing that we would be able to re-roll for a locksmith, or re-roll for a wine cellar, or a master bedroom. Like, there are things here on the east wing. The greenhouse is going to have gems. Yeah, and as I'm just checking, I just was curious to check the logbook from the apple orchard to check the soil survey, and rank 7 on the east wing is rich soil. So if we did get a greenhouse above the classroom, that would be a wine cellar. Okay, I will settle for the classroom here. I will settle for the classroom, but the problem is going to be when it comes to like, I'm a little bit low on steps, and I'm also low on keys. And I just, I don't know that this draft is going to get there. But probably, if it's going to get there, it's going to be through a lot of rerolls from the classroom. So, fortunately, I do see that there's both an apple and a banana here. So, some steps. Nice. What do we have, though? Oh, my goodness. We've got some geography. We certainly have... So, oh my lord, this is a This is a map. What exactly am I looking at here? I'm going to screenshot this. Moorhaven. It looks... It's not, you know, it's not the globe that we know. It appears to be a fictionalized globe. Kurarika, Vera, and Morajai. Are these the continents? The turtles of Vera. The Great Tress? At first I thought it said the Great Trees. The Great Tress. I can't examine this more. I can. Never mind. This is something I can look at with the magnifying glass. I was like, wow, this looks like something that's actually pretty important. That's a better screenshot. And now I get to look at it here with a bit of a more skeptical eye. Ooh, I see a snake. The South Key. And then, of course, our sideways number 8. There are definitely some clues here, because I'm seeing these shapes that we know to be core sigils. I'm seeing some shapes here. Need to take a bunch of screenshots. And now I really need to get my hands on Realm and Rune. Like, what is this showing me? Here's this is another core sigil, but it's in like a it's got several different shades. The North Circle. The North Circle. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I was getting distracted here. The North, so we've got the North Circle, the South Key, the Sacred Circle, and the Spiral of Stars. And I just realized as I was looking at the Spiral of Stars, this is that sketch that was in Her Ladyship's chamber, isn't it? The Spiral of Stars is what was being depicted there. It was like this weird spiral sketch, but I think that matches this. Okay. How is that important? Don't know yet. You got some weird hooded figures down here holding some what look like parlor game boxes. So yeah, you've got in the South Key, you've got the sideways 8, aka infinity, and then you've got 4 sigil cores around it. And then in the North Circle, I guess there's a small eye in the middle, the letter I. But otherwise, what is significant about this portion? Not sure. The Spiral of Stars, we've like, I can see there's a sun, and then as you spiral out, there are, I don't know, are these supposed to be the 9 planets? Doesn't quite seem like there's 9. So, like, again, this similar to how the globe is not our IRL globe, it's a fictional globe. It could be a fictional solar system that's displayed in the spiral. But then you have the Sacred Circle, which has, oh god, oh my god, there are actually numbers here. Jesus Christ. There's a number 46. Oh, 46. Room 46. I see Tor, T-O-R, which makes me think of this made-up language that we have to decode. Jor, Tor. It feels like that would be part of that. I also see 8 numbers. There's like an arrangement of, I don't know, stones, and they each have one of 8 numbers. The numbers 1 through 8 appear, and I just don't know exactly what does this line up with. Is there a room in the house that has some sort of equivalent? It looks like there are directions here. There's some sort of directions about rotating. Because you've got 90 degrees here, you've got 58 degrees, 8 degrees, 8 degrees. What are we rotating, though? This all doesn't make sense to me yet, which feels to me like we haven't seen the other part of the estate where this actually does make sense. So all I can do right now is just note what I can. Screenshot as much as possible. And yeah, the sacred circle. Does it go along with the sacred hour? Is that supposed to correspond? Those two terms feel like they'd be very related. There's also like a walkway through a garden here that's leading to some tree between a couple watchtowers. That may not be important. That may just be artwork here. That's like you've got the lady up here who's the blindfolded lady chained to some eagles or hawks. Oh, I guess there's a hawk on one side, but there's a bat on the other. Is that important? And then did I even read at the very top? Ore sphere, third era. Ore sphere. What? Moraven, like some of these terms I've never heard. Or read. Okay, that is a lot to take in. Was there a... There's another one here too, isn't there? Oh, fuck me. There's a second one here. Etsphere. Third era. Brother, are you kidding me? Okay, well this one I at least kind of recognize. It's Arindia, and you have Arch Ares, and Arinda Ares, and Iraja, and Nuance, and I guess further Nuance? Why is it spelled like that? F-E-R-T-H-E-R, further Nuance. Etsphere third era. These there's so many people in some of these sketches. It does make me think a little bit of Return of the Obra Dinn. Fantastic game, one that I wish that I would have. It's just I played it before recording, similar to Hollow Knight and Outer Wilds. Those are probably 3 games that if I could go back and put those on, if I could record those my first playthroughs, I would have done so. But it's making me think of Obra Dinn. Except I don't think we have to make any identifications of these faces in the crowd. These are just here mostly for... most of these do feel like simply here for artistic purposes. But the stuff that's up in the corners, this Seeker of the Signs, and then the Devoted Circle, and the Three of Tides, and then the Outer Circle. These are probably important somehow, yes. And then there's like these lowercase words in the middle map. Inside, Orsai. Are these words that are part of this made-up language? The Seeker of Signs has what looks like 7 of the sigil cores. This arrangement has to be important somehow, somewhere, but I don't see how it would fit into one of our sigil puzzles right away. The Outer Circle, we've got... Oh, it looks like... Oh, is this just the naming of the planets? Fenmora, Vea, Memora, Dauja, Mora. If we look back at this other one over here, did we have 5 planets in the solar system? It looks like there might be 2 very small ones. And then you've got a big guy here. You've got like a Saturn-like planet and then an Earth look-alike. It looks like there's 5 planets in the solar system. And a whole bunch of stars all around in the spiral. And that would line up with what we've got here. So somehow the planets, the names of the planets are going to be important. Oh, at the bottom I see Is Eclipse and In Eclipse. And that reminds me of the photo from the ballroom, the In Eclipse ball versus the Is Eclipse. So this is also, I think, part of this language. Because in versus, I think in showed up a couple times in that note that was in the tomb. Got to start decoding this at some point. Oh, look at this. I think this might be Oris. I see the Arindia core here. And I think this might be Oris with his 3 children, right? Who we know from the history of Arinda Ares. He bestowed upon the 3 children his kingdoms. That certainly makes sense to me. And then in the devoted circle, you've got the rogue moon and the devoted moon. Are there actually... Wow, are there actually 2 moons? Are there actually 2 moons around this planet? Devoted orbit is 24 hours. What? The devoted moon and then the rogue moon. The rogue moon, aka a quantum moon? I don't know if it's quite that rogue. Okay, I was not expecting to get this level of similar to the new clue. There's so much information that's being posed here, and I'm just gonna have to take some time to kind of soak it all in eventually, but I don't feel like I can get there right now. There's a guy holding up a chart here that may or may not be important. It's like I can see it a little better with the magnifying glass. It doesn't feel like one of those. There's usually when you zoom in on something with a magnifying glass, you can tell based on how clear it looks whether it was intended to be magnified. Oh, we've got some of our angels here, don't we? Our angels of I don't know all the angels' names, but I wonder if we could find... There's at least 2 of them here. I see the chimney sweep angel and the backhoe angel, but I don't know if I see Lydia and the others. Okay, feeling overwhelmed at that, no doubt, because I just don't know how much of this is, you know, here for historical lore purposes and how much is going to be utilized in a puzzle. There's a geography thing here. What is this showing us? Fen Ares. And then we have... What? Does this let me zoom in on this? It doesn't let me zoom in, but I feel like I'm definitely taking a screenshot of this. We've got the Royal Museum, and that's, of course, a very central location in our story. But then we have, I guess, the Grand City of Fen, which I thought at first was a rook chess piece. It's next to Morning Bay. We have Colossus Arinda, which has this symbol. We've got some other location up here, which they don't name. This is all under Arch Ares, but I guess Araja is down here. Here's the city of Oris. And then Mount Holly is right here. Okay. Okay. So a little bit better, giving us a little bit of an idea of the location of each of these. And then I haven't even looked yet at the worksheet, the geography worksheet. Identify each realm on the map below. Identify each of the realms. Perosia got 4 out of 7. Oh, and they're identifying them with the sigil cores. Okay, I'm just going to screenshot these for now. I'm screenshotting, and then there's going to be another note review session. I feel it coming on. It's kind of it's working its way up to be a perfect time for us to check some more notes. I hope this isn't a political statement. Are you not supposed to fill in the... let me see. I see the Arinda sigil here, which is that supposed to be actually a Fen symbol because it's Fen Ares now? I think so. 2 of the other kids here got it right. And then the other one was admonished for deviating. Kathleen apparently is one of the, I don't know, kids of one of the Blackwater insurgents. Okay, back into drafting mode. Let's see if this door is locked. It is. We could use a special garden. Special garden? We could use a secret garden key here. If we wanted to, and that would spread some fruit around the house and help us start getting these steps back. Maybe that's... It also has some dig sites. I really want to get over to the foundation. I want to get over to the lower ranks in the house. But I've kind of shoehorned myself up into a bad spot here, I think. Because the thing is, if we use a secret garden key, we're not getting the rerolls from the classroom. That's the real problem. And the secret garden is only of marginal utility. I really need keys more than I need steps, I think. I think I need to spend this classroom. This needs to be where we reroll to get either a locksmith or a laundry room. Because we need to get keys. Or a room like, well, the servants' quarters wouldn't be great because we don't have any bedrooms. But I think this is where I need to spend a regular key here. I can't just settle for the secret garden. It's not good enough. I got to use a key here. The classroom is a powerful enough effect. I don't think I can settle for a commissary. A commissary isn't quite what I need. The dormitory would be cool, but then I'm down to just the one key and I'm going out the weight room. I think I have to use a redraw here. We can't bet on there being a key in the commissary, and even if there is, there's only one of them. I got to do redraws here. Adraxis the Dead. A vault is not good enough. It's just not. And I don't think a courtyard is good enough either. And neither is a Geist bedroom. I think I got to keep redrawing here. I don't know if we're going for broke, but I got to do better when we have these redraws. A music room. There's the master bedroom. Shit. Well, the master bedroom would certainly help us with steps. But then we would be down to just... I'm assuming that that weight room door that goes into rank 7, there's a high likelihood that it's locked. And we're not going to have redraws. Well, I take that back. We will have one redraw if we take a master bedroom, because we'll have a gem. I don't like my chances. I don't like my chances, but overall, I'm not liking my chances in this draft. But I could settle for a music room. But that's 2 gems. It would be so much better to get our hands on a locksmith. And I still have 7 redraws left. But maybe I should be smart and say, hey, the chances of this draft really carrying on is pretty tough. It's pretty tough to see the draft actually having all the legs that it needs. And so taking that master bedroom and saying, hey, let's try to solve the chess puzzle. And that'll be our progress for the day. It's not the worst idea. Yeah, I don't think I can pass up a master bedroom a second time. The first situation, I think, was much different because because of where our resources were, we still had what felt like a lot more draft left. I know it was only a few rooms ago, but it's just the way that things have panned out. We haven't gotten the rolls that we needed, and we haven't gotten the doors pointed the way that we needed. And I just feel like we're on our last legs here, even though we're going to have a lot of extra steps. So I think we're going to settle for this progress, because I think this means we get to solve the chess game. Maybe, maybe not, but I think we've got all the pieces in place that we need. So let's take the master bedroom, and if it means that our draft is coming to an end, then it's coming to an end. But we will have banked some very important additional. We've already gotten our 6th red letter, and we've reached a new record on classrooms, although that was not going to be tough to beat. So did we get our extra steps? There it is. Okay, we did have to actually enter the bedroom. Okay. Interestingly, there is a key. So maybe the draft still has legs. Okay, not so fast on that draft being over just yet. The keys are the most significant part of this equation at the moment for me. We need gems as well now, but I was really worried about running out of doors, being able to get through doors. Okay, here we are. The Red Prince. We can finally read these words that we've been dying to get back here to read. To my encouraging uncle who opened many doors for me, ever grateful, Mary. And then, P.S. They made me change the ending, of course, as you predicted. They made me change the ending, of course, as you predicted. Nothing earth-shattering there, or nothing that's like, here's the secret combination to the last safe that you need in the drafting studio. I think that's the last safe. But there's supposed to be 8 red letters, except we're only going to find 7 of them. So I don't know. I don't know exactly if it's our last or not. But there it is. They made her change the ending. They did complain that it was too political. So I wonder what I wonder what the actual ending was supposed to be. Is there anything different on... I think this page is exactly the same. The prince had a love for all things red. Oh, I am just now realizing that the mirror that our prince is looking into, look at the shape. It's shaped like the Arinda sigil. Is it Arinda or Arindia? Probably Arinda. Arinda Aries. I just now realized the shape of this mirror. Holy crap. Okay, there we go. After all that buildup, all that buildup all this time, trying to get back here. After all that, it's just a little note to Uncle Herbert. Which is something, but you know, I always get my expectations up maybe a little higher than they should be. So, okay. Okie dokie. And here's, of course, our Swimbird plushie that we've added to the master bedroom. It appears to be only for cosmetic effect. It is a ginormous body pillow sized plushie. So that is part of the master bedroom now, for better or for worse. Still don't know exactly what dare mode is, but now that we know that we can like transfer data between like trophy data from one file to another, then dare mode is probably something you have to do on another save file. That would be my guess. So is there anything worth re-examining on these notes? Is that the only note that we can look at here? Can we not look at the letter? It looks like there's a foundation map here as well, but we're not able to examine this. The only examinable is the note about the elevator controls for the foundation, which we have already, I think, taken care of. But this letter is not something we can actually examine. Okay, I guess I am now remembering that. And then we had this letter before. Simon, I never intended to finish writing this letter, but by now you must know the... Is this, does this match the start of one of the other letters that Uncle Herbert has written us, I wonder? I never intended to finish writing this letter, but by now you must know the... Okay, the master bedroom turned out to be an okay room. It did get us a key, which is great. We did have to spend 2 gems for it, so we kind of need keys, we kind of need gems, but we're at least much healthier on steps at this point. But yeah, we're just down to... Ah, it was unlocked. It was unlocked. Okay. God damn it, am I gonna have to take an archives now? Shit. Beggars can't be choosy at this point. I think I have to settle for the archives just to get as many doors as possible. At least a door that goes to the left. And I hope and pray that the door to the left is not a security door. We have a low security level. We already had a security door in the weight room. If we get unlucky again, and I can't take a secret passage here because I need to turn back to the lower ranks away from locked doors, but that means I am going to have to go along with archive floor plans now, I think, because I can't spend my last gem here on a redraw. I gotta pray, hope and pray time with the archives. Yeah, it really doesn't. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this Southern Cross. It feels like, oh, before I forget, Chamber of Mirrors. But I'm not really. The Southern Cross has not felt amazing. It does count. It's got dead end in quotation marks. That doesn't exactly answer my question, but I suppose if it says dead end, then Draxus the Dead is going to buff its chances of appearing. Oh, okay. The archives gave us a gem. Well, what do you know? Now, did it also give us a security door? It motherfucking did. I hate this game. Stinking freaking god. Both of these doors to the west. Why couldn't have there at least just been, like, you could have done that to me, but you could have given me a security card instead of a gem. Remember that one time way long ago? Was it like day 2 or something? There was a security card here in the archives, wasn't there? This makes me so freaking pissed. I swear to God. I'm gonna run out of keys, man. I'm gonna run out of freaking keys. I don't have any other doors to draft, right? I have to do this. There's just nothing else to be done because I can't go around to the foundation. I got no choice. No decision to be made. This sucks so bad. This just sucks so bad. Oh, this is the worst thing ever. I can't settle for an archive floor plan here. I gotta spend a redraw here. I can't take a kitchen that points in this direction. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Nothing here is good. And the chances that this is a dead end, there's a very good chance it's a dead end, right? Because Drax is the dead. Could also be, I don't even know, a single gem room. It could be a laundry room. Yeah, I want a laundry room so I can get a bunch of keys. Oh my god, I gotta redraw. I'm running out of gems. I'm running out of resources, man. This draft sucks. This game sucks. I have to take security. I have to take security. And watch. Security will just be the ultimate troll job. Because it's gonna give me the door that goes to the left is gonna be another security door. You just watch. I gotta spend my last gem. I hate it. I hate it. I fucking hate it, man. It's just the worst. It's not a security door, at least. All right, it's not a security door. It's gonna be locked, though, right? It's gonna be locked. That one is locked as well, but I could use the secret garden key. Could use a secret garden key and do some digging, and maybe I get more keys, and maybe somehow life is good. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use a secret garden key. Don't do it. I just hate it when a draft doesn't come together, that's all. I want all my drafts to be amazing sauce. That's a key from a dig site. Okay. All right. The draft. The RNG gods giveth, the RNG gods taketh away. The RNG gods give me old tin cans as well. Any other dig sites up here? I did forget about... Oh, so this is another reason to get the secret. I forgot about the fact that it could open up the antechamber fully. That's a thing. We can do that, and I will do that because maybe it'll come into play. It might be important to have all of the antechamber doors open, even though I feel like keys are still going to be our bottleneck, not doors. Except gems are also a bottleneck now. We've got so many issues, because really, when you run out of gems completely, then you're really kind of in trouble. It's just not a good spot to be in. So what I might need to do is spend a key over... Well, we can see if this door opens in the secret garden. If it opens, then we're in luck. But it's locked. So, do I just spend a key here to try to get, like, a locksmith? If this is my locksmith, I'd much rather take the locksmith here than in the security room. But then I don't have a gem. This is the thing. I don't have a gem to buy a locksmith. I don't have a gem. I'd have to get a reading nook, and then I wouldn't be able to actually... No, I could make use of the reading nook into the library, but then I might have to spend another key to get in there. I just wouldn't be able to draft out of the library. But I would get the key from the reading nook. The no gem situation is such a bad life. But we sort of knew that that was our course when we took a master bedroom. So we made our bed. And now we just have to eat fruit while lying in that bed. Because we got a secret garden. I think the world that I live in that keeps my draft going is that I somehow thread the needle with getting rooms that elbow me or angle me back to places that don't have locked doors. And that's through security here. So I think this is where I spend my keys. And hope and pray. And the draft is basically dead Except now our hope is to try to get through the antechamber. And that ain't never gonna happen. But I will take a guy's bedroom, because that's the only thing I can take. Because that at least gets me steps. Not steps. Gets me rerolls. So I wish I'd have had this a while ago. I wish I'd had that for that door just there. I wish I'd have had rerolls. Oh man, when a draft just doesn't go the way you want it. Alright, last door. Can't even take a treasure trove. Can't take it. We just reroll here because a closet doesn't do good enough for me. It's like if it has a gem, it's just not good enough at this point. That would have been one reason, right? One reason to take the closet or to draft this door first would have been to take the closet so that you could have access to a gem, so that you could get something like a treasure trove. But now I can't do any of these, so let's redraw. Storeroom's also a little bit late. I should have done that. I was thinking about like, man, just put a dead end up where the secret garden is so that you can get the resources to take back to security and draft through that way. That's what I should have done. So I guess we spend one more redraw and hope to get a reading nook. That's really all that I'm aiming for here is a reading nook. Okay. All right. Okay. We roll on. Oh, coupon book. Oh my god, the draft is saved. It's saved. Whee! Oh, I'm shocked. The door's locked. Wow. Never would have guessed that would happen. Oh! Okay. All right. The draft was kind to us, at least a little bit. We're gonna get 40 coins and taken into tomorrow. So, all right. We just need to find a gold sink tomorrow. But at least we got a freezer. Cool. Now, with that said, I could take a library here and do some more reading, but I don't think I'm going to. I think we're gonna save that reading for maybe, who knows, another classroom tomorrow, or not another classroom, but another schoolhouse. We could just get back-to-back schoolhouse days and try to rock our way back up to Schoolhouse Rock is what I was thinking of. We're gonna try to rock our way up beyond rank 4. Grade 4, that is. It's tough, though. It's tough to get all these classrooms together because it's so expensive. It would have been nice to be able to freeze some gems alongside my coins, but I'll take the 40 coins, and we'll get our hands on a commissary tomorrow and other stuff. We never got to take advantage of the sale. Not today, but I'll take that freezer, and I don't think there's anything to check out in the freezer because we can't melt anything in there. So, okay, we ended up having a little bit of profitability with our draft. So, yeah, I think this is where I will take a little bit of time and try to look for that broken lever just to kind of figure out where another broken lever can appear. And then we have a chess game to try out. Like maybe there was, I don't see the broken lever here in the courtyard, which would have been, well, actually, I not one of the likely suspects. I'm so used to there being, you know, items in green rooms, but really the courtyard I don't think has ever had a broken lever. It must have been here in the attic, and I just overlooked it. Right? Right? Isn't that the most likely explanation? There's also a bishop in the attic, as well as the chapel. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. Where is this broken lever? Maybe it was in the conservatory? It wasn't hidden in the parlor, I don't think. Unless it's just somewhere on the floor where I'm not used to looking for it. But the only other place I could think would have been the conservatory, but it doesn't... There's never a world where it's out in the schoolhouse, is it? I mean, it's very likely... there's a very good chance that I've just overlooked it. That it's still in one of these rooms that I just went all the way through the house checking. That it's still in one of these that I am... And I'm just completely blind. Because it's a blind playthrough, get it? I think I have to check the schoolhouse. Because I don't know where there's... It's not like we can make use of this. But I want to have the future the future reference point to know that, oh, this is a room that could have a broken lever. But I think I can't find it here. I don't know where it is, so we're going out of the house because there's at least a couple things that we want to do outside the house. We want to do the chess game, but I think I also want to try a couple of the new admin key potentials. But was there really? Oh, there's a dig site here. Oh, I didn't have a shovel at the time, though. So there wasn't any reason for me to go in to try to dig the dig site. But there's 2 dig sites. Wait, what? Were there this many dig sites in the schoolhouse before? I mean, those could have had keys. I did not remember there being dig sites in the schoolhouse. There's a broken lever right here. Wow. There really was a broken lever in the schoolhouse. Now you know. Okay. All right. If I'd have known that, I probably would have slam dunked the workshop. Except I don't know, when did we pass the workshop? I don't think we got the shovel and the battery in the attic. If we'd have had the broken lever at that time, obviously we would have known, oh, we have all the pieces for a jackhammer. We just need to get our hands on a workshop. The draft didn't steer us in that direction, man. You've got the schoolhouse going on, and so the library, the classroom, what's the other room that corresponds to the dormitory? Those rooms are showing up a lot more often. And then we picked up both Draxus of the Dead and the Southern Cross, which might have been wrong. Maybe I should have picked up neither of those, because it felt like they kind of crowded out our classrooms, but they also crowded out the workshop. Like, I don't know, the draft felt a little bit, it's like, when you're drafting a Magic deck, you have to pick a lane. You can't just draft all the colors. And it kind of felt like that's what this draft was doing. It was trying to be a rainbow deck, and we didn't pick our direction. We're going to go to the grotto first, though, because I want to try a couple logins here. That the ideas that I had from a new clue. One of them was just straight up a key. Okay. I felt like that one might be a bit of a stretch. Just a little bit of a stretch. What about that? Okay. It's not admin key. All right. What about Clark? I don't think we would use the full name if Christoph Clark was a login. I think we would follow the normal convention of CLAR. But it also doesn't really feel like the driver would have a security login. So, okay. Those were my long shot ideas to get an additional login. It feels like there's at least still one more login for the grotto. That doesn't follow the normal convention of 4 letters for the last name, followed by the first name initial. But I haven't figured out what that is yet. So, in lieu of that, we try to solve a chess game. I'm hoping we can do that here. I feel like we should be able to get a lit up chess square for each of our pieces. And the risk we took in limiting our draft, which did end up costing us in terms of the draft, we made that risk with the knowledge that we would at least have this fallback of a chess game. So hopefully we get to have some fun with this. Because wouldn't it be great if we got like another upgrade disc? I think we would have enough steps to make it back to a terminal to use that upgrade disc. If that is what we get, let's find out. I need to remind myself here what the squares are. The master bedroom is at 7.5, and then the study is at 4.2. So the king goes to 7.5. Oh shit, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Was there no king in the... I'm such a dingus. Wait a second. I didn't look around the master bedroom, but I could have sworn. Oh my god. This is not even gonna do what we... Oh no. Where are the... I know there's a king in the office, but I could have sworn there was one in the master bedroom as well. Go to my floor plans document here and search for king. King. There's a white king in the office. But was there not one other room? If there is another room with a king, I actually have not made mention of it. Why did I have this in my mind that the master bedroom just has a king? I feel so dumb right now. And I'm also very disappointed that we're not actually going to be able to do the chess game. Some of you all have probably known this for several minutes, for a while now, since me picking that master bedroom and you realizing, oh, there's not actually a king in there. There's a couple Dark Souls swords and there's cannons, but was there not actually a king chess piece? Why did I make this? I guess I did it because of the fact that Her Ladyship's chamber has a queen in it. And I just thought the natural counterpart is the master bedroom. The master bedroom, which is supposed to be Sinclair's own room. That's where a king would be, just like his office has a king. Would the freezer have a king? God damn it. Because I can't go back and look through the rest of the house now. I don't think there's any other king anywhere. I don't know of any other room that has a king. The parlor definitely doesn't have a king. It's got a pawn in it. Well, crap. Crap, 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 crap. Crap, 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 crap. Crap, 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 crap. Guy's bedroom doesn't have a king. I guess I could just go through every single square here and just see. Did I forget about there being a king in one of these rooms? The answer is obviously no, I did not. What I was doing was hallucinating the presence of a king. Hallucinating that king being somewhere. There's our study. Man, the draft just... Maybe I shouldn't have picked the parlor here. I thought I could maneuver the draft around in a different way. Shit. Well, folks, there it is. Once again, we didn't quite get there. We just didn't quite do what we needed to do because we were so close to having all these lit up, except that didn't actually draft the freaking... Who knows? Maybe there's only one room with a king piece, or there's another, like, room 8. Could be room 8 that has the other king piece in it. Either way, I guess that's where we're wrapping up this installment of Blueprints. It wasn't where I was hoping to wrap it up, and it's one of these drafts that didn't quite do all the things. But even when I don't feel like the draft completely gets there, we still got an additional red letter. We did draft our 4th grade worth of classrooms. Yeah, there's no break room, right? So this is it. We're calling it a day. I can't think of anything else to do other than to go and examine more classroom stuff at rank 4. Not rank 4, grade 4, but I'm not going to do that right now. My mental state is just kind of like disappointment because it's just the way it works. It's just the way the game works sometimes. This is a new one. We got an east-facing campus. I don't think we've ever gotten a campus before because we have never gotten this many classrooms. It's only 4, but we quadrupled the amount of classrooms that we've drafted previously. We got a library as well, so I guess that counts as a campus. And it was East Wing favored. We actually got all the way up to rank 9 along the East Wing. What a weird draft. But we did get a little bit of additional allowance. Another star added to our total. Conservatory got drafted again. Like, things happened. We can't say that we definitely learned a lesson that there is no king in the master bedroom. Ah, what is wrong with me? I will try to figure out what is wrong with me and re-strategize a direction for our 30th day here on the estate. Already up to day 30. This game sometimes, that poor little foundation just out on its own little island. We got a lot of dissecting, though, of these notes. There's so much information that we've gathered from the library, the new clue, and all this information from the classrooms now, and there's still so much more to be digested later. When will this game stop? it's both a blessing and a curse. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.